Hello everyone, welcome back to Imagine Reading. You see the thumbnail, you see the title. Today we are going to be doing a reading on BTS's comeback tour and album, I guess you can say. I believe from what I understand and for what I read, they are supposed to be kicking off their tour or like a preview of their tour in Seoul, and to kind of like pay homage, respects to, where it all started in Seoul, South Korea. And from there, they're supposed to be doing some other, or like they're supposed to be opening up the tour at the end of this month. February 23rd, I think, is the start of it. So I figured now will be a good time, because I have been planning to do this reading for quite some time, but I just never got around to it. So I figured, why not now, since we're getting closer to the deadline, and maybe hopefully I can pick up on something a bit more close. I'm pretty confident in this reading, because so far I think I did a reading on V, I think his name is, and a lot of stuff that has come up with him has transpired, kind of, or has come to the light. And there may be more, I don't know. Hopefully it's not, because there wasn't like the best reading that I had on him. So hopefully things get better. But I kind of want to see what we can all expect during this comeback tour. Is it going to be a bop or a flop, essentially, as some people would call it? And then I'll pull cards for each of the individual members and see what we get there. But before I do want to hedge your expectations. If you have never seen tarot before, this is your first time being here, or even if you are returning, if you're new here, thank you. I'm happy to be your entryway into this, and hopefully you enjoy it and stick around and want to see more. But if you are someone who has been here before, what do I always say? Think of me as a spiritual translator. There are certain things that I am going to get downloaded or told to me in various different ways, and I'm going to try my best to relay that message to you all. But in doing so, because I am human and I am prone to not fallacy, but to mistakes, I may mistranslate something, I may misinterpret something, but I'm going to try my best to deliver the message as best as possible. If you are okay with that, and you are also exercising your power of discernment, we shall move forward. My sub disclaimer with this as well is that I try to differentiate when I am giving my own opinion, or I'm giving something that has been reported. And if it's not clarified, this is exactly why I have all statements made are alleged for entertainment purposes only. Just because I don't always make that clear, because as I'm downloading and doing these readings, I just kind of go through it very fast, and sometimes it's not always clear. So it's not to just kind of like take my hands off the wheels of this and just like not take any blame. That's mainly why I have that there. So with all of that, and you having that understanding, we have those ground rules in place. We've, got a mutual understanding going on here. I am going to pull cards. Also, to the avid BTS fans who may watch this video, if I pick up on something that you already know, great, glad to know I have that confirmation. However, I do not follow them like that. I'm not an avid fan, stan, whatever you want to call it. I don't even know what you call the BTS people. Is it the BTS army? So I don't know everything, but I am going to provide that information to you. And, hopefully the general public receives it. And hopefully you receive it and understand that I am not just talking out the side of my neck. Okay? So I'm going to shuffle these cards up here, and we shall get started. Okay? And hopefully you are finding this reading at a good time, high spirits, hopes and blessings and abundance and all of that. We can continue this with all light and love, okay? Okay. Okay, I see. As you can see here, I have a couple cards that popped out to the side. I want to note those. And I also have 2 cards here that I see that fell to the side. So I'm going to throw these back in the deck, to be honest, but I just want to read them off so I know if they come up again that they're meant to stick. So I do have the 9 of Roots, aka the 9 of Disc. I have the Chariot coming up in reverse, so there's some kind of stall here. And then we also have the 5 of Blues. 9 of Disc. So is there going to be some kind of stall or a slowdown on the tour? I mean, I feel like that's to be expected. I feel like most tours kind of go through something like that. And I wonder if there's also going to be some kind of snag here. And I feel like I've been hearing this come up more often than not now with artists who are doing tours, where maybe they're going to have to put their own money into something with the concert somewhere to like have it be what they want it to be. Yeah, let's see what else is coming here. Is there any more cards? AI wants to come out here. There's pretty much like judgment in traditional tarot. So I think it's going to be received pretty well, which I don't think is going to be surprising because they are a very popular group. Let's see here. The other cards that has come out are, we have the Hermit. Oh, is these all? No, they're not all major arcanas, but they're pretty much. So we do have the Hermit card coming up here in the upright. We do have the Hanged Man in this particular deck. It is called the Upside Down. It's coming up in reverse. And then we also have the Queen of Jazz here, which is the Queen of Wands, essentially. The Hermit. I think this Hermit is in reference to them kind of, I would say it feels like one of two ways to me. They kind of needed that time away from each other, maybe to reevaluate why being a part of this group was so important to them. Maybe to also kind of like flesh out their individuality a bit more as well. And if that's not the case, it feels like this tour is, or I would say after this tour ends, they're really looking forward to this time of them kind of like hiding away, being their individual selves, living their life, not having to be like in the public as much anymore. The Upside Down, or aka the Hanged Man, this is usually in reference to things of like looking at something from a different angle, but with this coming up upside down or in reversal, for me it's usually like, okay, well, maybe you are seeing things more clearly now. There won't be any more trip ups. I'm kind of getting something like their head space, their creativity is in the right space now because they've kind of had that time to yeah, again, to like kind of be individuals, be themselves. They kind of earned their, I don't want to say, because it's not quite privacy, but maybe that's the best word right now. It's like I've earned my privacy. I've earned my time away. I've earned having my life be my life without everything being packaged is the word that I'm getting. And then I see here we have the Queen of Wands here, aka the Queen of Jazz. And usually for me, when I see the Queen of Wands, that's that's all like creativity. That's like your fiery passion. What burns it for you? What gets you started? What wakes you up in the morning to kind of like get the day started? What's your reason for living? Here with the Queen of Jazz. I do see here with the underlying cards here, we have the King of Jazz in reverse. I think this is romance. Have their romantic lives really been on hold? Is that really the case here? Hold on, let's see if I can zoom this really quick. Okay, so I zoomed it out just a little bit so you can kind of see some of the cards a little better. But we do have the King of Wands coming up in reverse here. And then I have the Ace of Roots So this is like the Ace of Coins, which is dealing with like money, finances, things like that, business dealings. And then I also have the Four of Jazz here, which is the Four of Wands. It's dealing with home. I wonder if this is kind of like, are they in a space where they really haven't been able to build romantic relationships or a lot of personal relationships because of them pouring so much into their time as members of BTS or products of BTS, is more so like what I want to use. I feel like it's more so like I've been a product of BTS. I haven't been able to be, you know, um, my individual self here. So I wonder if that's what this King of Jazz, this King of Wands, this Ace of Roots, and the Four of Wands is coming up here. Because the Four of Wands also deals with home as well. So yeah, I wonder if they're just kind of looking forward to, yeah, being themselves, being like, I want to say like individuals again, being everyday people. Even though I don't think that will all ever really happen, people are still going to very much be like, hey, that's so and so, you know. Let's see if I can get any more clarity on this. Advancing, yeah, okay. Deciding, advancing, and what else? Not knowing. Okay, what is deciding dealing with? Advancing. Yeah, it's, to me, I just kind of feel like they're looking forward to getting into this tour and getting out, because there are certain things that they kind of really want to deal with when it comes to their private lives. Um, and I think that's also probably the feeling of like anxiety or dread that I'm picking up here of why they're not looking forward to the concert as well, because it kind of feels like the sentencing I hear is kind of like I'm re-engaging people, and I'm getting people re-interested into me again. I'm putting myself back out here on the front line for people to want to be in my space and my orbit again because of my stardom. So I'm not looking forward to this. It's going to be some time before this whole thing dies down again. So I think that's what's going on. But they also, it's that thing of like, I want to finish strong. I still want to, put this on and perform for our actual true fans that aren't like obsessive or borderline stalkerish. So yeah, let's see. Okay, will there be any hiccups? Mm, okay, that was a whole book, as you can see there. I'm not gonna count those. And I had a bunch flip over in the deck here. I don't need a whole lot. I don't need all of that. I just need something short and sweet here, Spirit. Are there going to be any mishaps or anything like that? Let's see. I'm going to say no. All of these came up in reverse. We have the Empress coming up in reverse. And this deck is called the Mama. We have the Axis, the Six of Axis coming up here in reverse. And we also have the Page of Axis coming up here in reverse. What I kind of feel like it is, it's like, even if something was to go wrong, people are going to roll with it. Or they're gonna roll with it because they're such like expert performers or something like that. I don't know. And just kind of like ride out, roll with the punches, or people's gonna take it for what it is, because this is you know, supposedly like their last concert, I believe. Like, you know, this is the last one before they kind of just retire or go away for a little bit. So yeah, it's just kind of like it is what it is. Like, even if it is a mishap or a mistake, people are just gonna kind of accept it, or again roll with the punches or go along with it because it's BTS's last concert. Look, we even have the Harmony, which is the Temperance card, coming up in reverse. It's like, yeah, it is what it is. We also have the Roots here, the Three of Roots. That's collaboration. Disharmony, collaboration. The Knight of Jazz here. Hold on. Why would these be the underlying cards here? Okay, so I wonder, and maybe this isn't going to happen on the tour. Maybe this has happened behind the scenes as they were preparing for the album. I wonder if there has been, which I'm sure it has, have there been some kind of clash in maybe the artistic direction they wanted to take for the album, or yeah, the artistic direction, because that can include like the music, the concept, whatever the case may be, the genre they want to focus on, how they want the story that they're telling through this album. I wonder if there's been a lot of conflicting things, and maybe it feels like it's not enough space or time to put it all into one album. So I wonder if it's going to be a ongoing or continuing story. I'm kind of getting like a storyboard for each concert that they kind of go through or something here, because it's like so much that they want to say and do, maybe, and that's probably been a point of like, I won't say like to the point where they're ready to break up or like somebody is fighting or anything, but just kind of like that's probably been like a boiling point for some people, a point of contention of like, no, we should do it this way or whatever the case may be. Is yeah, with this harmony and collaboration coming up here, I wonder if that is a thing that they have been trying to work out behind the scenes right now, even because I'm picking on current energies, but who's to say, you know, if this isn't something that's past, or and it's just like an underlying thing that they have to watch out for as they go through the concert, because it could be a pain point that comes up again, or if it's not something that comes up later on down the road. But yeah, that's what I think of when I see like the disharmony and then the collaboration coming up here. So maybe that will be one of the hang up points with the concert. But other than that, I think you all can enjoy it. I don't think it's, I feel like even if this was bad, I think like people would still enjoy it, because it's like, it's BTS. It's their farewell. Who's going to really say much or do anything about this? Who's really going to critique it like that? For the most part. And I don't think they're going to just give anything. I would hope they wouldn't just give anything. I would think they would, give it their best, their all. Especially on behalf of like their management company, because they probably not going to play that either. So now let's kind of just break this down. Let's see if I can get something more looking at each of the individual members here. So I am going to start off with Jung Kook. We're going to see what I'm going to pick up for him for this concert, their final or their goodbye, their until next time tour. Okay, it's funny enough, we get the Haynes Man coming up here. Oh, it's a couple of things. We have the Magician, the King of Jazz, the Eight of Wands, and then we also have the King of Axes trying to come up here. Okay, let me mix these back into the pile and see what actually comes up. I'm getting depleted. Now, for people who do actually read tarot, the Five of Roots don't always have to deal with, and I'm sure other people can say this too, it doesn't always have to deal with monetary. I don't think he is feeling depleted financially or material wise, I think it's a depletion of like energy. Because sometimes I think of like think about I think about the, the old saying, money is time, time is money. And I wonder if that's like a thing here with him where he just feels like I have put in a lot of time into this and I kind of just feel depleted. I don't feel like I'm getting enough of it back, or the cost that I've given, or for the energy and stuff that I've expelled into this, I don't feel like I'm recouping enough of it back. It's kind of probably brought me more negativity than positivity when it comes to certain things. It's something I'm picking up here. Let's see what else I'm going to pick up for Jung Kook. This wants to come out. Rhythm here. So this isn't a normal card you usually get when you're in tarot. But in this particular deck, you do get rhythm. And again, this is usually something of like, again, something makes me feel like he needs to find some kind of like replenishment. There's definitely something that's like something is draining him. And I hope he finds that. I don't want to say dig in. Don't do that, because if you're digging in and you're depleted, you're just going to burn out. But I think he really needs to find something to replenish himself that pours back into him. Because look, we also have the Magician card here that's usually speaking to things of like manipulation. Again, I keep getting something about like it feels like he's you're trying to pull water from a dry well out in the desert. There's nothing there. You keep trying to pump something up and it's just like you're gonna keep getting that dust. It's not a lot of stuff coming up here. Notice we also get the Ace of Roots. Look, I was saying it feels like he's poured a lot into being Jung Kook of BTS, and maybe he doesn't feel like this has been the best reward for himself for some of the things that he has opened himself up to. Because we also have the Eight of Axes here, and it's coming up in reverse. This sometimes comes up like victim of my own circumstances. And not saying like, yeah, I did it on purpose. I wanted to, do music. I wanted to perform. I feel alive when I'm there. However, I didn't know I was signing up for, I don't know, people stalking me or breaking into my house or having people follow me, not having a moment's peace when I try to go to the restroom, people trying to take spy photos of me or take locks of my hair, stealing inappropriate items. I don't know if all of this has happened to him, but this just kind of feels like some of the stuff that's coming up to me. Yeah, look, Five of Blues. The Five of Cups here. It's like crying. It's almost like crying over spilled milk. But in this case, to me, with it coming up upright, it's like you have a reason to cry about that. You have a reason to, bemoan, kind of like getting into this. I also feel like something is coming through like a catch-22 of like, I look forward to being on the road because at least I will be with, other people who understand what I'm going through. I kind of, and it's with people that I feel safe and comfortable with. But at the same time, it's like I dread leaving home because I don't know what's going on with him, but it kind of feels like I dread leaving home because who knows what's going on at home, or like I feel some kind of sort of violation. I don't know how to explain this how any other way except for like, like when you leave your house, but you feel like you left the door unlocked. But you're like several 100,000 miles away. It's not like you can just turn back around. You can't turn the plane back around to go back and make sure that your house is locked up and stuff like that. And, it's done properly to where, okay, it's like when you leave the house, you're going on a long trip, but you sit there and you're like, damn, did I lock my door? I don't know if I locked my door. But it's also like, and I can say this, but it's also kind of like that control freak side of you that kick in, where it's like, I would ask somebody else to check and make sure that everything is locked up, but they're probably not going to do it right. I'm still not going to feel safe because I don't just let you in there to like lock up behind me and stuff. Like, no, I don't trust it. Like, I got to give you my alarm code and I'm not going to be able to change it. Like, what the freak? That's kind of like the sensation that I'm getting off of Jung Kook right now. Um, Look, great possession. Is this something at home that he's worried about? That's interesting. That's what's coming out for him. What else? It's clarity on Jones Foods. Okay, these two. What is this? See, we have blocked and radical change. What is he trying to block himself from? What does he feel like? Again, it just kind of feels like I feel unsafe. I'm and it's like I should feel safe because I'm somewhere, like I'm in my own home. I'm in my own security box. However, it doesn't feel like I still feel a draft in here. Like something isn't sealed up properly. I feel unsafe. It's like a hair raising, the neck on the back of the hair on the back of my neck is like standing up because something is just tingling about my senses. Something isn't sitting right with me, and that's pretty much what I'm getting in Jungkook's energy right now. I'm gonna clean my hands here. I'm gonna clean this out because I don't like the feeling. But yeah, it just kind of feels like somebody has trespassed. I don't feel safe. It doesn't feel like the best feeling essentially that I'm getting for him. I hope that gets better. Ooh. Let's clean that energy out really quick. Now we're going to look at V. I believe I read on him earlier or before, sorry. I read on him before, and you will see a link to it pop up here so you all can watch that at another time, or you can see it down in the description box below so you can see what that reading is. I will admit ahead of time before you just go clicking on it, it was kind of choppy because I was doing a live reading and the connection was not the best. So I do want to warn you ahead of time, to be fair. Okay. Mm. Okay. I don't think he's feeling the most excited about leaving on tour again. Um, yeah, V feels like he's, yeah, why is, okay, so we have, sorry, my eye is itching. So we have the Two of Wands here in reverse. We have the Ten of Cups coming up in reverse, and then we also have the Strength card coming up in reverse here. So to me, this is usually when I see the Two of Wands, it's kind of like I am making plans to go somewhere, but maybe I'm not the most excited. I kind of feel directionless in doing so, or I don't feel the best in kind of like making this move. The Ten of Cups also coming up here in reverse is also another concerning card because this is usually speaking to like happiness, harmony. It can sometimes deal with like family matters as well, as you can see with the family on the card. So he doesn't seem like he's feeling the best about leaving. Maybe it is his family, his home, life behind. Maybe he was enjoying this kind of like downtime that they had, even though I don't really think it was downtime. But maybe he was enjoying some of like the not as much as of the heavy lifting that they had to do. But it kind of feels like, hey, I would trade it off. I'd rather do this than this other thing. And then again with the Strength card here, it's kind of like this is a heavy lift for him. It's like he doesn't feel the best about it. Emotionally, maybe mentally, I'm not sure. Let's see. Yeah, the Aeon here, Judgment. What's the other underlying card? We have the Lovers, and then we have the Ace of Wands here. Is he leaving behind a girlfriend or boyfriend? No judgment. Is he leaving behind a significant other, some kind of relationship going on? Is it going to be a strain on the relationship? Or is that his concern that it's going to be a strain on the relationship? Maybe he has been enjoying like his dating life or his secret dating life. People in the home. uh, is somebody afraid about leaving their... I don't know if BTS fans really like that, but okay, so I'm just going to note these because all of these came out. We have biting through. This is kind of like working through something, deciding, see, up, gradual progress, instilling. STILLING, not as you taking something from somebody's house that you shouldn't be. Corruption. Yeah, it kind of feels like if it's not a relationship, a romantic relationship, it's some kind of close relationship that maybe he has been working towards or building on. And I feel like there's a concern here in moving away from it to do this tour. Because look at this. We have beauty coming up here. We have limping and small taming. I want to make sure there's not another card that fell. Yeah, to me it feels like his big concern is, and I think what he's not looking for is that he's going to be leaving behind some serious connection or relationship here that is of serious concern to him, or of priority for him. And maybe he feels like he doesn't feel the best going on this concert, and potentially this concert or going into this this next cycle, this next evolution, and where that may evolve or change this relationship. Like he kind of maybe has some anxiety around that. There's or some concerns. I'll just say that some concerns there. I do hear this. Okay, so the best way this comes across to me, it's like, ladies, and you probably can understand this. I don't know if men do this, but ladies, when you test your boyfriend about something to see if he's really the one, but you dread the outcome because if it's not the answer that you are looking for, you're kind of like, okay, now I'm stuck with the decision of walking away from this person, even though I really want them to be it. But I have to do this test for my own sanity to know who I'm kind of dealing with. That's kind of like what this feels like to me. It's like I have to test this relationship or test this person to see if it's actually for me. But I do dread that if it's not going to be, if the outcome is something that I dread or that I don't want. Because again, I want this to be it, and I would dread for it not to work out. That's kind of like the energy that I'm getting here. I don't know if he is dating somebody. Sorry to blow up your spot if that's the case, but yeah, that's what I'm getting for V, you all, going into this. I don't know why I'm picking up all of this other stuff. It's not really about this concert so much, but it's understandable. These are grown men. These are grown men. So good luck with that. Hopefully it doesn't strain this relationship too much. Hopefully it is something good for him. Yeah, just let the cards fall where they may after that. Next, we are going to look at Jimin. Let's look at Jimin. Okay. We got the High Priestess coming up in reverse. Trusting something, not trusting something. I have the Seven of Roots. Jimin, what's going on here? What's happening here? I have the High Priestess coming up in reverse. To me, that's usually like a trust. I'm hearing violation of trust, though. Violation of trust. Hmm. Ooh. Okay. Throwing this out there because this was the first thing that came to mind. I'm glad to be wrong on this or be misinterpreting, misreading this one. Um, has Jimin been working on his own private project? Is there concerns that somebody maybe trying to leak it or access it or something? Or maybe the project being on hold? Okay, I'm not getting the bead there. But yeah, so, okay, yeah, because I'm getting trust here. The Seven of Roots to me is usually like when you're working on something, you are trying to, put the work in so you can reap all of the benefits of it later and enjoy it. But right now you have to kind of like plot, plan, and get things in order to, make your future the way that you want it. But then I also see the Wheel of Fortune here coming up in reverse. So it kind of makes me feel like something, some projects or something. I want to say it's the album because I'm seeing all of like this disc, the vinyl record stuff here. I want to say maybe it's a album or something, but it could be a project of some secret project that he has going on here. That he did he have to put it on hold, or somebody is going to leak it, or is it going to bleed him some kind of money, essentially, or something. I don't know exactly what this is that I'm picking up here, but if I had to trust my instincts on that, I would say it's something like that because that was some of the first things that came through. Now for the underlying energy here, look, we got disharmony. I'm saying disharmony because it's coming up in reverse, but it's typically harmony. And what is that damn word? I just said it earlier. um, Basically like balance. With the harmony coming up here, you have the Knight of Roots, and then you have the Devil. Okay. Knight of Roots. Yeah, this feels like I'm working on something. Is he getting into some bad dealings? Hope that's not the case here. Let's see. And get some more clarity. I have a lot of cards that keep wanting to pop out, but nothing is actually dropped just yet for clarity wise. Oh, and then I can, oops, I went to stop to get these other cards and did all of that. So, but now I get two cards, and what are they? We have confined, see, yep, confined and opening. Confined and opening. These are two completely different ends of the spectrum. Confined and opening. Yeah, I just get something like it's a project, something he's working on, something he wants to maybe develop, but something, yeah, it feels like it's on hold about it. See, all of his cards keep like, what is up with that? And then you also have the Three of Wands here for his one of his cards. Was this tour not planned? Did they not have a deadline or a date in mind when they first started doing this? I'm not understanding, because I don't know why the concert or doing this comeback tour would be the thing that would throw a wrench in his plans, especially if they, had it planned ahead of time. Like, you would have tried to work around it, but maybe the deadline for this concert was moved up, or maybe it was a thing here of kind of like, maybe his project, he was expecting it to, have it done at a certain time, but it isn't. And so now it's still like a few things that is unfinished, and so it's not going to be out in the amount of time that he wants. I'm not sure exactly what that is, but I just feels like it's something on hold here when it comes to Jimin, something that he wants to do, has been working on, or has been doing, and it's kind of just been like in a flux now because of this concert. Okay, I'm just flipping these back over as I prepare for the next reading, because I'm not really getting a clear bead on what it is exactly for Jimin, but yeah, that's the best I can do with that. Now, the next person I am going to be reading on, is it SUga? Or SUga? I don't know how people would say that. Let's see what I get for SUga. He seems like one of the lesser known faces of this group, at least to me. Like, I feel like I know the rest of them that I've read on so far, but not SUga so much. Okay, let's see. Okay, this one definitely is not flipping back over anytime soon. I don't know if you all can see that clearly. Okay, what is this? Okay, then we also have the 4 roots. And then I had a bunch of cards just flip over in my hand, and I'm going to pull them out. So the first card that came out, please do not jump up in the uproar. I could hear somebody in the back right now. You need to leave. No, I don't. Sit down. Sit on your hands, okay? So I see the death card here. The death card does not mean that it could be something very detrimental, especially with this coming up in the upright for me. Usually, when I see the death card, I think of things like change, metamorphosis, evolution of some sort, something coming to an end that probably needs to come to an end. Now the card that does make me worry, because you do have to read tarot along with other cards that, fall out with it, is that we do get the 4 of roots here, the 4 of discs. And this is kind of like my miser's card. Maybe he's coming out the habit of like feeling like maybe he has to be a penny pincher or something. I don't know. But yeah, gotta put that out there. I do see now we got 2 4s now. 4 of axes, aka the 4 of swords. Okay, what's going on with my man? He has a lot of 4s. The 4 is the Emperor, the 4 in cups, the 4 of swords, the 4 of roots. What's going on with SUga? This is my miser card. You need to save some money. This is, you need to take a rest. Then we have the 4 of cups coming up in the upright here. This is like you being, you're not paying attention to something that you probably need to. And then he got the Emperor card coming up here. I don't know if maybe he's coming off a little arrogant, or maybe a little too confident about something that he needs to be more humbled about. But, yeah. What is it with all these 4s here, sir? What is 4 like symbolic of anything in Korea? Maybe you all can tell me that too, because he has a lot of 4s here. I do also see the Knight of Axes here. Okay, what I'm getting energy wise for Suga does not match up with what I see on the picture. Um, the Sun card in reverse, and then he also says, here go the other four. He has all the fours. All the fours. You have the Four of Wands now coming up in reverse up underneath. Okay, what I'm getting is his energy is really split. And that seems to be like a common theme I'm starting to see here with BCS as I'm going through this reading. It's kind of like, okay, yes, I know I have to finish this out contractually or whatever the case may be, or to wrap this up in a nice bow. But it's like my mind, my energy is somewhere totally different right now. I'm on to something else. Like it feels like how I feel oftentimes when I go to work. Like physically I'm here, but mentally I've checked out. I've gone somewhere else. I don't know what's going on right now. But I look really good, making it seem like I know what I'm talking about right now because I'm dejected at this point. I'm like checked out. Clack out for me. This kind of like what this is giving me here. That's concerning. A little bit, maybe. Maybe it's not for some of you. Again, maybe somebody could shed some light on this, but Suga's energy is sort of interesting to me right now. What do we have here? Repeating chasm. What is this one? Seeking union. Okay. I'm getting kind of like the same thing I got for was that Jimin. I think when I not Jimin. That was Jung Kook. Where it kind of just feels like, hey, I would prefer to be home. I would prefer to be doing something that really fuels me right now instead of having to pour into this right now. Like again, my mind is in two. Like again, physically I'm here, but mentally I am somewhere else. It's kind of like dissociating almost. Um and again, I don't know if this is right about Suga. I just feel like this is something I'm picking up on his energy here. Um he seems like he's the one that's kind of like the fireball. Like it's almost like some Leo, Libra type energy that's going on here. Like I know I'm the shit. I'm gonna do what I want. I can have who I want, do what I want. Like he gives a little Spitfire energy to me. Um, which is interesting because again, the energy that I'm picking up on don't match the photo to me. To me. But yeah, that's what I'm getting here for Suga. Please, look, listen, BTS people, let me know the details on Suga because something ain't adding up. There's some clashing going on here with the energy wise versus what I'm seeing in the picture, and y'all can shed some light on that. But yeah, that's what I'm getting there with him. Next, we will do RM. Let's look into what I am going to get on him. Okay, hold on. Not all of that. So I do want to note these two flipped over, which is the Three of Cups and the Wheel of Fortune. But I'm going to put them back in the deck and reshuffle and see what comes up. Do not count this card. I'm going to flip this over right now. Don't look at those. But The Emperor did fall out in the upright for him. Okay, so isn't he the leader? I can see why he's the leader. So far, his is the one that's coming out the most positive for me. At least picking up on this energy currently, it seems like he's ready. It's something that he has to say. He has the fiery energy, the leadership. The Emperor, sometimes they usually speaks to like leadership, king. You know, somebody who don't abuses their power as well. That's coming up. So yeah, Suga. Is Suga the youngest one in the group? No, it couldn't be. Is he like somebody who was like the second lead or something in the group? Because Suga also kind of got like this commanding energy about him, which is interesting because again, doesn't add up with the photo of him. At least what I see in the photo, the energy I get from the photo. But again, tell me in the comment section. But again, I'm pretty sure RM is the leader of BTS. Correct me if I'm wrong, and I can see why he has that. Right now, he has that spunk about him. He has the King of Blues here. To me, I don't know. It just feels like there's a lot that he wants to say. A lot of creativity coming out from him. A lot of like, maybe is it emotional like exercising that he's doing with this album. Is he also one of the main writers on a lot of their songs? Because I just feel like it's a lot. I just feel like I'm seeing like scribbles on pages and pages and pages. Like there's a lot he's trying to like exercise or pour out during this whole thing. Look, we do have the moon going out here, and it is in the upright. It's like revealing or letting a whole lot of stuff out. It seems like I also kind of feel like shedding his skin a little bit. The three of jazz here. And then we also have the six of roots. What is a burden or something he is shedding? Or is he just coming out his skin a bit more or something like that? I don't know what that is. Okay, I'm hearing the word blunt. Maybe he's being a lot more blunt, straightforward about stuff and not being apologetic about it. I don't know what that's about. I'm just relaying what I'm getting here. Oh, is that going to be all his cards right there? I get great possession. Okay, here's something I'm getting here. He kind of gives me. I hear that Erykah Badu line like, "Listen, I'm an artist, and as an artist, I'm sensitive about my like he kind of gives me that like I'm going to take control and responsibility for my art, and I not saying that he's not open to critiques and stuff about it, but he's just kind of like take the art for what the fuck it is and how I give it to you, and I'm not apologizing for it. Like this is what it is. I don't want to sugarcoat this. Like I'm delivering it to you the way I want to deliver it to you. Like I'm hearing like I said what I said. Like look, waiting, opening, people in the home. I don't know why these flipped out, but these are the cards that was over here on the side. I just wanted to kind of take note of that. We also do have decreasing here. See, and I want you, will I be able to get it really good on this camera? It says there is truth and confidence. And remember I was saying something earlier about there feels like there's a lot that he's doing. It almost feels like he's being unapologetically him. Like you just going to take it for what it is. You're going to take what I'm saying for what it is, and that if that's how you interpret it, that's how you interpret it. Like I don't give a fuck, he's walking away from it. Like that's kind of like the energy here. And then look, we also have shock. Is he gonna say something shocking? Maybe to you all that's not surprising for RM, but I don't know what he could say that would be that shocking. Or is he's kind of like, oh, okay, no. Is he kind of like breaking the mold on something? Maybe it's like I'm not doing a traditional thing here for what most people expect out of us. Like I'm if this is gonna be our it kind of feels like this is gonna be our last performance, our last hoorah, or at least for a while, or if this is our goodbye for now. I want to make sure it goes out with the bang, and I'm going to say and do what the I want to, and I'm not apologizing for it. Like, it is what it is. And maybe this is going back to earlier what I was saying at the beginning, the very very beginning of this reading, where I said maybe they are going to have to come out their pocket for something that they want to do artistically or creatively, and maybe that is coming from RM. Maybe there's something here where he's gonna have to just like he's gonna do it and just ask for what they say, like do what you need to do and ask for apologies later, or ask for forgiveness later. Like, it kind of feels something along those lines, and maybe that's stemming from RM, like whatever it is that he's trying to do or he's about to say. Yeah, it just kind of feels like he's about to maybe ruffle some feathers a little bit. Now, if it's going to be fans' feathers or the industry feathers or who, I can't tell you that. I don't have a beat on that exactly, but it seems like he's going to maybe shake some stuff up. Okay, next we have Jin that I am going to be reading on. Let me shuffle this one more time. Look what comes up again, the Five of Cups. Okay, I have the Knight of Chess here again, a Knight of Wands coming up in reverse. Okay, that was a lot. Let's try that again. Gonna mix these up in here like so. Okay. And then we have harmony, temperance. It's coming back to me. It's funny how my memory works. It kicks in at the most weirdest times. So I have the Five of Cups here coming up in the upright again. We have the Knight of Wands coming up in reverse. And then I also have the Temperance card here as well. What is going on with this dude? It kind of feels Jekyll Hyde energy to me, but I'm trying to focus in and see if some kind of clarity is going to come through. Yeah, what's up with his emotions? Emotionally, something does not feel the best. Yeah, what's up with emotionally? He feels like he's in distress. What? Yeah, this guy emotionally feels like I don't know. I want to say effed up. I want to say booped up. But yeah, and then it's like physically, it's like, yeah, I'll smile, I'll get through it. It is what it is. No, everything's fine, everything's perfect. What? Oh, this is crazy. Okay, I gotta show this to you all. So I want you to really pay attention to the pictures here. So I have the sun, which is usually talking about happiness, you know, things being revealed, like revelations, you know, everything's hunky-dory in our world. Look at what the picture is, okay? Then I get the Eight of Roots here. This is, you know, again, I've been working on the railroad kind of energy. I'm steady working to kind of like break through or do what I want. And then I get the Tower. Okay? Look at the Tower and the sun. This is the record store. Okay? I really want to show that energy. And it's crazy that the Tower comes up, because usually the Tower, when that shows up in something, it's not always like something cataclysmic, but it's just kind of like it's gonna be it's going to be a upsetting change, some kind of thwarting change, something that kind of probably throw you off of balance for a second or for a while. And you're kind of going to struggle to like get to find your footing again, if you ever find your footing, because maybe you're not meant to find your footing. But I just kind of wanted to show that energy of what's coming up here. Like emotionally, it feels like something is really messed up with him, or that he's like working through. But physically, it's like he's putting on a happy face, or fronts, or whatever you want to call it. Um, if I had to go off of these cards, if I was betting, you know, what I'm picking up on from these cards, I would say stop doing that and actually get the help and assistance that you need, or work through whatever it is that you need, Mr. Jin, and get to the bottom, the root of why you're unhappy and what it is. Maybe he already knows too, you know, not, you know, to give him credit, not to be like, are you emotionally stunted? But maybe it's just a case of like, maybe he already knows, but he just kind of like stuck on what to do next. Um, mm, okay. What's the way I can say this? What I'm what I'm kind of getting, it's a certain scenario, it's a person that I'm personally thinking of, but I want to put this in a way where I'm not, you know, exposing this person. So okay, yeah. So say you have a person you know, and they maybe don't have the most or the best experience when it comes to dating. But it's something that they really want to do because I don't know, maybe they really want kids, or they really want to be married, or they really just want to experience love. Um, but because they don't have because they're like super naive, or they don't have the maturity, it's something that counts against them. Like for some people, it's kind of like that's their charm. It works in their favor, but in this case, it's kind of like a hindrance in them breaking into the dating market. Like you don't have any experience dating. Like what is this? Um, that's kind of like what this feels like to me. And so it becomes like a negative feedback loop. Like, okay, well, you don't have experience dating, so it's something that's counted against you. But because it's counted against you, you don't date, so you're further behind. It's like this dating experience that you feel like you should have. Um, yeah, that's the best way to explain it. But let's see if I'm getting anything more. See dispersing here. I see advancing, great taming, and what's this other one that fell? Stripping away. That stripping away is concerning, coming up in reverse here with the Hermit card. It's kind of like I'm going back into my shell. Release, sprouting. I feel like you should have had the death card, buddy. You should be changing or shedding something here when it comes to your energy. Dispersing, release, sprouting. Maybe he is gonna do some burning away. Maybe. Hopefully. Yeah, look. I can't listen. I can't make this stuff up. What's the underlying card that came up? Coupling, gathering. What's this other card? Radical. There you go. Sometimes you just gotta trust your instincts, girl. And I'm saying it to myself. Um, yeah. What is this guy's sign? When is he born? Hold on. What is he? He's a Sag. Oh, Sag men, in my experience, they don't always have the best time when it comes to romantic relationships. I feel like they're on two different ends of the spectrum. They're either slores or they are like high priests and don't want anybody to touch them. It seems like there's no middle ground with them. They feel like they have to sacrifice their their physical world for the spiritual world, or they sacrifice the spiritual world for the physical world. It seems like they're very like two ends of the spectrum. Typically when I see Sagittarian man, oh my God, Jen, good luck. I don't know what advice to give you. I was The best advice that I could probably start off with is get out your own head and get out your own way. But that's easier said than done. Okay, and that's one fire sign to another. So I understand. I'm gonna back away from that. I'm gonna move on to the last part of this reading here. We are getting into J Hope. Let's see what I'm going to get for J Hope. Now, if I can be honest, you all can get your tomatoes ready. I don't care. I'm gonna rattle a few feathers here, if I so may. So far from what I have seen from the solo stuff that's going on, I do not like him. I do not like this man. I do not like him here or there. Or I'm not gonna say like this man. I can say I don't appreciate his art and what he has done. But that's a gripe for another day. But I just wanted to put that out there for you all. I want to be clear where I stand, okay? I wanted to be clear. I don't respect it. But we're gonna see if my feelings are gonna change through this reading on him. But I doubt it. But let's see. What are we going to get here for J-Hope? Oh, that's my headphones for. Okay, we have Fool. We have, here we go. The Three of Wands is the Two of Wands is having a grand old time coming out here. Why am I moving in the wrong direction? So we have the Fool coming up in the upright, stepping out on trust, on instinct, just stepping out, just trying things. Maybe that's what that is here. I have the Two of Wands coming up in reverse, and then the Knight of Roots. Okay. I don't know what it is about him, but it seems like what I'm getting here is like, almost like he has the Midas touch when it comes to projects or creative things or with his music. Like he can just step out here and try something and it's gonna work. Whether it's because he's just that creatively talented or something, or if he has the right team or something around him. It just, to me, it kind of feels like he could just kind of step out there without any plans or trying to work through anything. It's just he wakes up one day and just like, yeah, I think I want to do that, and he kind of just does it. He doesn't mind kind of like trying things or stepping out of the box. Um, and just like, trusting his instinct, going with his gut on things. I do see we have the Ace of Axes here. He seems like he's just, again, I don't get like, he's like the biggest planner. He doesn't care about how much money and stuff that he's spending. He's just like, yeah, I want to do it and it's going to be that. Like, what do I have to do to make it happen? Him and RM, I would not be surprised if them are the main two that's kind of like locked in the room, doing a lot of the creative, like bouncing creative ideas off of each other. Don't know if that's true, but looking at the cards here, when I'm picking up on their energy, I wouldn't be surprised if those were the two that was kind of just like, yeah, I'm just gonna do it and let it be that. Like, I don't really care. Um, yeah. And it's not like he comes off arrogant. It's just kind of like a, I want to try it, I'm gonna do it, and that's gonna be that. And people are kind of like drawn to it. Um, I don't know, maybe it's because of his confidence or his aura. Like, this seems like he's aura farming. I don't know, something, maybe it's something about J-Hope where it's just like he gets people to agree to it because he's just like so confident or eager or excited about doing it and really laying it out there for you. See, look, biting through here. Yeah, see, it just seems like I will step out here and make it happen. What do we need? A couple extra 500,000 or a couple $1,000 to make this happen? Sure, let's do it. Do I have to give more time? Fine, let's do it. Oh, we can't do it here. What about over here instead? It's just like, hey, I can make it happen. I'm going to make it happen because that's what I want to do. It's just, he kind of feels like he's like maybe the bomb energy in the group. Bomb, BALM. Okay. Like, he just, a lot of stuff just rolls off of him. He's like a raincoat. The water is not getting through, it's just bouncing off and rolling off of him. Like, it's not bothering him. See, I'm not blocked. Yeah, he feeds a lot into this creatively. I just feels like, again, he feels like he's the calming agent and the creative agent when it comes to this group. Interestingly enough, like, it seems like he is providing, look, people in harmony is the other card that's coming up for his underlying energy, pushing upward. Okay. And he also has, oh, this is funny. This is a nice way to end this. I have the army coming up underneath as well. So yeah, it just feels like he's just like good energy, like, to be around. I still will put out there, I don't like his artistic style because I just, there's some other underlying things with that, but that could be me from the outside looking in. But I can see why everybody else is roped in and really supports him and push him through and respect what he does. Because again, it just seems like he comes through with good vibes, good time, good energy. And he's kind of just like down to do whatever it is that he, you know, that is suggested. He almost kind of gives me Gemini energy. Like, Gemini party time. Not, Gemini lion and parcel tongue in it. But yeah, like, I'm for when Gemini at a party. Like, we're gonna live it up. What we gotta do to make it happen, I'll do it. And that's J-Hope's energy. So I think that's pretty good going into this. Again, I would not be surprised if RM and J-Hope are the two main figures that's kind of like really pushing through this and getting this creative project together and bouncing ideas off of each other and kind of like keeping people level-headed and like putting their heads together to make this a cohesive thing for everyone. Because so far their energies just kind of seem to cut through like at the highest end of the spectrum, I would say, or the lighter end of the spectrum. So yeah, all in all, I think whether, you know, people like this or not, or they feel like it's distasteful, people are going to enjoy this because people have been awaiting BTS's return. They are looking forward to it. I feel like, not essentially like they can't do any wrong, because there is a line here, but, you know, essentially people are going to accept it for what it is. It's going to be a time. It's going to be something where it's like you just had to be there kind of thing. I think it's going to be something that's going to be talked about and enjoyed amongst their fans and whatever. And I'm wishing them the best, especially, you know, many of the members who are kind of going into this with like hesitancy, or, you know, kind of like feeling drained or needing to feel replenished. Hopefully they'll find that when they're back on the stage and they see all the love and you know, the adoration of their fans again. They'll be reminded of like why they got into this in the first place, and why they lived for that high of being on the stage for as long as they have. And then they can kind of just go back to their lives and do what it is that they want to do, and be you know, find that individual of themselves and not the product that they kind of like turned themselves into in order to make BTS the success that it has been. So yeah, that is my reading on BTS's comeback. Let me know if what I picked up on here that was off, and what I picked up on that was right. Or, you know, share some things that you're looking forward to down in the comments section. You know, let's chat about it. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this reading. Hopefully see you back here again for another reading. And in the meantime, in between time, I hope you are having a great night, day, or evening, wherever you are. May you stay abundant, prayed up, saved up, protected, and blessed. So yeah, see you in the next video. Bye.